Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. I'm joined by the one and only. I'm going to do that again. I didn't like that. Actually, I'm not. I'm joined by the one and only Rich Stambolian. What's going on, Rich?
What's up, man? I was gonna say I would have been a little upset if you had to retake that because that all hit me like right in the chest. That was perfect. They were like,
I tricked you. I tricked all of you.
I got professional wrestling.
You like the high one. You like it when it's very high. You don't like the serious one.
I love it when it's high and like very show busy. Like, ow, thanks professional wrestling. That's my favorite. Like Carol Channing.
Oh, thank you. I have no control over the production machine or the show. This is very strange for me to only do a show without any control over anything today. Our wonderful producer, MG, will be switching the cameras, so all the mess-ups will be on him. Happy Night of Champions week, Saturday. Happy Double or Nothing weekend. Happy Memorial Day for everybody in the United States. This is a busy, busy weekend for all of us. A lot is happening in pro wrestling. We've gotten, I think this is AEW summer to make. I think WWE needs to consistently put out good product like they have been. This is a very unique time for pro wrestling, Rich.
Yeah, dude. It always is around this time of year, too. I feel like it's like, I don't want to say it's like the build to SummerSlam, but it's like the build to summertime. So you get like cool stuff, you know? I think Night of Champions is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good show. I think Double or Nothing's going to be a good show. And then there's that mystery NXT show that I just found out about. Like before we went on the air, you guys were like, "Yo, there's an NXT show tomorrow." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, dude.
Since when?
Since when? When did this happen? You want to go down the news? Let's go down this because we have a ton to talk about.
Yeah, let's hit it. All right. So AEW officially announced United Center for the June 17th debut of Collision on this week's Dynamite. The general sale starts today. Pre-sale was yesterday.
Well, he's wrong there in the notes, obviously, because he wrote this yesterday. The pre-sale started yesterday. The regular sale started yesterday. The pre-sale was the day prior. He is moving tickets, not as fast as some anticipated. I think it's moving fine, and I think once people... think about it, right? It's a bad weekend to release these tickets. It actually should have been last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a holiday weekend. People are spending money. Your hardest of the hardcore are at the event. You have people very preoccupied with other things. So I'm not looking at this as, oh man, he only moved 6,000 tickets or whatever. I'm seeing this as, okay, it's a bad week and you haven't really announced his return. I think they're going to start alluding more and more coming up to this. But it's a very busy time. You got this show happening. The following week, you have Forbidden Door happening. You got All Out that's going to happen. You have All In that's going to happen. And then now you got to sell tickets every week for this show.
It's a lot of burnout, man. That's a lot of burnout. And especially because all the shows are relatively kind of in the same area. So you would think there's a lot of crossover between the Canadian fans and the Chicago fans and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it is a lot of burnout. But let's see what happens here. I am hopeful that they'll have 10,000 people in that building for Punk. It'll be a big moment for them.
Speaking of Punk, as per Fightful and PW Torch, the issues between Punk and AEW are believed to have been resolved. No news on how he will be introduced. Now, this has been an interesting news bite over the last couple of weeks where it's a very will they, won't they.
Yeah.
In terms of is he going to show up? Will he show up? Where? What? They're not announcing anything. Did it fall apart? Who knows?
Yeah, I didn't jump into the speculation last week. I don't know if you noticed that.
I was there. I noticed.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I was there. Or are you talking about We're Live Pal with Garrett that I've never been invited on?
You are invited. When do you want to come on?
I will come on next Tuesday. But
okay.
like I said, my thing is I'm making you agree that you've agreed to have me on.
Yes.
I'm waiting for you to remember and be like, hey, come on the show today.
Dude, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you 100%. That is always the issue with me, okay? And I'm going to put this out there. If you know me, okay, which I think a lot of people that watch the show know me, I am game for everything. However, I have the memory of a turnip. I will forget. I will forget. You need to remind me. How many times, Matt, do I tell you, hey, dude, I'm going to send you money, but hound me to send it to you because I will forget.
And then I feel guilty asking.
And then he feels guilty. And I'm like, no, it's money I'm giving you. He's also my secretary. So he has to remind me these things.
Oh, is that why he keeps bending down at the waist? He's dropping his pencil, bending down at the waist to pick it up.
Not even 10 minutes in and we went there.
By the way, you want to see something really cool? I am wearing short shorts here, so I got to pull my shorts down a little bit. Yeah.
Pull that skirt down.
Look at these. Dude, look how awesome these are.
Oh, those are awesome, yeah.
Yo, I gotta go to a single shot.
Gotcha.
There you go. Look at these things. Not that I'm selling these or I got these for free. I bought these. I think they are freaking awesome.
Those are really cool.
X-Pac looks great. Always. Hogan looks like a maniac.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, these are the coolest fucking things to put out. Like, for me, like, I don't buy toys. I don't collect them.
Yeah.
I'm not a toy collector. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I know Matt Cardona's big into this. Like, I don't do it because it's...
As you say that, you're surrounded by toys.
As I say that, I'm surrounded by toys. I like it for my set, and I like... Maybe I am one of these people. Maybe I am a toy collector now. Maybe that has happened.
Listen, if you want to open those floodgates, I'll give you the icky on it. It's a notorious and nasty, dastardly business.
Dude, you know what's crazy? So I went to Target with Taylor on Tuesday, and there were these grown men, okay, on the phone, and they're like, no, is it the gray variant of Batman or the blue variant that we need? And
dude.
They bought everything in the aisle. Everything in the aisle. And I looked at them and I was like, you're a piece of shit. You know?
Yeah, those guys stink, man. I hate that. As a toy collector myself, I don't want to go too far deep into all this stuff, but I'm very jovial when I go to Target and I'm like, let me see if they got this thing. And they usually don't. It's because these guys show up as soon as the doors open and just buy everything, or they have a hookup that they'll pay like $50 to. And then
they're not buying it to collect. They're buying it to sell for like 10 times the amount.
Yeah, for sure. It's gnarly. And then
look at this. Trent in the chat, right? I'm working at Target right now, and Andrew's completely correct.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, there's a kid that I'm sure is like wants that, right? But like you're buying it for like $18 or whatever the toy is, and now you're gonna jack the price up to $60 and sell it on the internet. Whatever. But it's an open economy. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But
it's also a local thing. It's also a local thing too, because our Targets get drained like super quick just because of the how much population we have here. My brother lives in Albany. His Targets, and there's numerous Targets, they have everything. Anything that I would want, he'd call me up and be like, hey, there's like 40 of these on the shelf. Do you want one? And I'm like, absolutely. So it's a very different. Yeah.
There was no wrestling toys, which I found interesting. Like barely any. There was one Drew McIntyre WWE thing. There was like a weird WWE Legends thing with the Wild Samoans. And then there was Nyla Rose. That's it. Yeah. That's all the wrestling that existed. Fascinating.
A lot of shelf warmers. I think Drew's...
Sorry, I don't know what happened. My brain just stopped. I went into a rant here about toy collecting.
You talked about your terrible memory, and this was the result of it.
It happened.
I think you need some ginkgo biloba, babe.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Mercedes Monet, injured at NJPW Resurgence. The reports is that she was slated to win the New Japan Women's Strong title, but she called an audible, and now Willow Nightingale is the new champion.
Yeah, she broke her ankle.
Ooh.
That's the story, right? Which, I mean, part of this is that we found out yesterday that there were plans for her to be at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And, now that's probably not happening, but you could still maybe do something with her if it's not that bad. An ankle, it's almost like how long was Styles out?
Ooh, AJ?
Yeah. It's a couple of months.
I don't know, man.
Couple months, right?
I feel like more than that.
Depends on the severity of it. Depending on the severity of it, I mean, it can be you can be back in like 6 weeks. But I think depending on the severity of
shockingly, it's better than a sprained ankle at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll I'm curious what she was going to do. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe she'll come back. Good for Willow, though. There's been a lot of attention on Willow. Obviously, you could tell that Tony's very high on Willow.
Big feature this week on Dynamite, for
sure. Yeah, definitely. So, interesting, the shift over. On the same show, Tony Storm showed up to help Juice Robinson beat Fred Rosser. Moxley, Wheeler from BCC, and Shooter defeated Chaos, setting up a tag match at Dominion featuring Moxley and Okada.
Is that the Forbidden Door match?
No, that's Dominion.
That's Dominion.
That could be. No. I'm saying going from the tag match, so they get used to each other. Is the Forbidden Door match John Moxley versus Okada? I'd be okay with that.
Okay, but here's the thing: is Punk going to be on the show?
Again, who knows, man? Again, will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they? No, I mean, he's showing up the week prior, right? He's showing up 10 days prior to this. So,
is that definite, or are we going to get another report of his guy freaking out in the lobby because they don't have enough mineral water and brownies for him?
I don't think we're going to get that. I think he's there. I think it's fine for now.
Wow.
I think
Rich just heel turned on Punk.
I know he did. I think it's fine now. I think they're okay. But, you never know. Warner was very, they had graphics done weeks ago. By the way, that Samoa Joe graphic, I'm going to say this. That Samoa Joe CM Punk graphic that's somehow leaked is 100% accurate. That was made.
Yeah. Too bad, man.
Because I sent it to you, Rich, like a month ago.
I lost my shit when you sent that to me, man.
And I said, Rich, I'm going to show you something, but you can never show anybody else.
And as he said that, I was on the internet.
And then it was my wee-wee. It was my wee-wee. That's all I showed him. I think, listen, it's if you're talking to business-wise, right? Warner Media wants him, obviously. How do you not? And why do you think they have a 2-hour show on Saturdays now instead of a 1-hour show on Saturday that would highlight, Tony even said, I think, was it during his presser where he was saying that, the reason why Dark and Dark Elevation are gone, it was an exchange. They added Collision, so now you'll have more talent on there, and then more talent will go to Ring of Honor.
Right.
It makes all the sense in the world.
It does.
And they are exclusive on Warner Media. They are exclusive to their properties. They're not going to put it on YouTube, and it's pointless for them. They're not making any money with those shows.
Right.
So might as well turn this into something that you can make some money with, and good for him. But you do need CM Punk on that show.
I think so. Yeah. I think you definitely, if you want to cross that line, you do need the guy in a certain capacity somewhere appearing for your company and doing media and doing all this stuff,
Yeah. Well, you know what's wild? It's depending on how hard or soft the split is, it's a whole separate promotion.
Exactly. Like almost like a real brand split.
Like if you look at that roster, right? Like look at that roster. Miro, Andrade, Hobbs, Punk. Let's say you put Pac on there. Who's another guy that maybe hasn't been highlighted as well as he should or she should, right?
I would have said Malachi, but I feel like they're doing okay with that whole thing.
Malachi is working in the trios, but
yeah.
I have gotten exhausted with the number of trios that exist in that company.
A lot of trios, man. Yeah, okay. But this is what you want. It's what everybody wanted.
Everybody wanted this. Gang warfare, right? You want factions, which is fine. But I think the issue is there's too many in and outs happening with these. Like Ethan Page teamed up with who did he team up with on Rampage? I just watched it. It was a trios match.
Yeah.
Ethan Page, great guy, right? I want to see Ethan Page have a nice mid-card singles run.
Absolutely, TNT title.
Okay, put it with the TNT title. Do something there. I think now that you have that second show, you're going to have more of this. Part of that is also having these guys on TV. Part of that is that problem that they need to be on TV. You want to get these guys on TV. You're paying them these salaries. You don't want them to sit at home. You don't want them sitting in the back and only doing dark matches. So what do? You team them up and they show up on TV.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's happening with Danhausen, because I do think CM Punk has custody 3 days a week of him. Right? Punk does have custody of Danhausen.
He's still banged up, right?
Danhausen?
Like busted arm, yeah. Something like that.
I love him. So does CM Punk. He loves Danhausen. So maybe you move Danhausen there.
There you go. That'd be fun. I think we need a couple more spooky guys, too. Do you count House of Black as like a spooky trio?
Yeah. They're spooky trio, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what's amazing, okay? Which is fascinating. Rhea is in a spooky trio, too, right? Or a quad. It's a spooky stable.
Yeah.
Right? It's a spooky stable.
Yeah.
Isn't it an extension of that stable in a weird way?
I think it kind of is, because, Buddy Murphy's in there. You know what? I talk about Forbidden Door. How great would that be if you had like a 7-on-7 with House of Black and Judgment Day? Versus,
I mean, that really is a Forbidden Door.
That's like the true Forbidden Door right there. We'll see. Imagine if that happens.
We have that at the club, by the way.
What, like a Forbidden Door 7-on-7?
We have a Forbidden Door.
Oh yeah,
I'm not allowed to open that door. I don't know what happens in there.
Does it go just? It's like there's nothing on the other side. It's just like
just an empty hole.
You just like fall onto.
Pretty
the
sure that's
from,
like, totally different.
Do you remember The Simpsons where who was it? Barry Bonds falls into that abyss on The Simpsons.
Was it Barry Bonds or Ozzie Smith?
I don't remember. One of them.
Yeah,
one of them. He just falls. That's what it's like. Shave those sideburns, Mattingly. Let's see what else we got here. So Mercedes Monet. I'm hoping that she comes back quick. Especially for AEW. If you want to listen, I'm not going to get into the argument on how much of a draw Mercedes is. Right? I'm not going to get into that argument. I have no way of measuring that, because I don't speculate on stuff like that. I want to see hard numbers. But brand recognition, name recognition, facial recognition, people know who she is. She is a big name in professional wrestling for a decade now in WWE.
Yep.
She is an asset to have. And if Punk and her are the two names, let's say, on this show, I think it would definitely help with building that roster.
Mercedes is such a fan favorite. I think folks underestimate how much people love her.
Listen, normal people love her, right? Normal wrestling fans. Normal wrestling fan. Not me, not you. Again, listen, she's great. I'm not saying I don't like her, but the ones that are on the internet that are habitually saying she's not good, those guys really in the grand scheme of things don't matter when it comes to TV. Casual fans are casual fans, and they tune in for what they like, and they need to grow that.
There's an interesting question for you. It's like a chicken and egg conversation. Like, is there such thing as a normal wrestling fan?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people that watch just to watch. And I think there are people
really
that go
high right there.
Yeah.
Your voice went up really high, which
lying.
makes me think that you don't believe it at all.
Am I normal? Do you think I'm normal?
No,
I'm far from it. There's nothing normal about me.
I tell you how abnormal you are several times during the week.
You guys have no idea. Rich will message me, and he goes, you are not. If there was ever like a thing where they had to find out who's like a functioning person in society, they would discover that you don't even come close.
No, you're a functioning person in society. I think we're all slightly abnormal. Not like we're Frankensteins and shit, but like there's
That's what I want to be. No, MG's a Frankenstein.
You want
Frankenstein. Let's see. Tony Storm showed up to help Juice Robinson beat Fred Rosser. Moxley, we spoke about this. Raw average 1.64 viewers on Monday night against the Lakers versus Nuggets. Lakers got swept.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about that. All people are talking about is what's LeBron going to do now, which is kind of bullshit. A little NBA talk right now.
Let's see. Dakota Kai and Liv Morgan suffered injuries last week. Dakota had knee. Oh wow, she had knee on her ACL. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. I didn't know it was on her ACL. Liv was reported to have shoulder an injury, and she'll be out most of the summer. What else do we have, Rich?
It looks like, as per Dave Meltzer's newsletter, this is like a kind of no-brainer. WWE is focusing on younger stars going forward, as most of the top stars right now are in their 30s and 40s. WWE has always been notorious for like their youth movement, which forced a lot of our classic guys out of the ring over several years, right? Like your Hogan, your Macho Man, even your Steve Austin, but who do they got? Who do they got besides Austin Theory that is like a young, under 30 superstar?
SmackDown last week, not this Friday's, but the prior. I mean, I be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to watch this Friday's, but it was taped, so I saw the results. Last week, that whole show was highlighting all those young NXT guys.
Yeah,
so they're realizing that they need to make a shift, but I'm not connecting with those characters. Grayson Waller and I'm not connected to that. I don't know why. Right. It doesn't do anything for me. I know that Austin Theory is a good worker, but I don't think that he's anywhere near ready to be, in that top positioning. They're working on it. They're building them. It takes time.
Oh, for sure.
They definitely have a focus right now because, most of their top stars are not just in their 30s. They're in their mid-30s. And late 40s and mid 40s.
And mid like late 30s, early 40s, like Balor's over 40. I think
AJ's over 40. Damian Priest
is a grandpa. Yeah.
Dude, Damian Priest is an eternal.
Oh yeah, 100%. That guy's immortal.
Yeah.
He is looking better and better, by the way.
Yeah, he looks like
heck. Roman Reigns just turned 38 like 2 days ago. So
Roman's 38.
Up there. Yeah.
I'm just putting this out there. When Hogan turned 38 and when Cena turned 38, they were saying, well, it's over.
Yeah, you're done.
Right?
Macho Man.
John Cena at 38, everybody was freaking out like, oh, he's 38, so he's old now. He's old.
Wild. And like that's why they put Randy on commentary years ago, right?
Yeah. At 40 years old. They said he was old.
Wild.
Flair, by the way, when he won the WWE title was 41 and a half years old.
Jeez.
And he was an old man. Hogan is younger than him, and Hogan was not even 40 then. So fascinating, fascinating how times have changed. People look better. They take care of themselves. Peptides, bro. It's all about those peptides. It's fountain of youth.
I also think this is the perfect example of the difference between pro wrestling and sports entertainment, right? Whereas, like, let's take a guy like Takeshita. Right? Super young dude. And you imagine his career to go super, super effing long like a Tanahashi. Right? And Austin Theory, it's like, all right, they're going to build this guy up to burn him out by the time he's 40. And that's it. Like they're keeping those appearances up. It's very fascinating when you think about stuff like that. Look how many Japanese superstars are still around. Like Minoru Suzuki, Liger. These guys wrestled well into like their older age. Yeah.
Asuka's born in 81.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
She's 42. She's going to be 42. Unbelievable. She looks like $1 million. She's awesome.
Times are changing, man.
Times are changing. People take care of themselves a lot better. That we have conditioning now. We have all this stuff. Like, you don't have these old men. But I do understand. WWE is realizing that these guys, it's not so much about how you're looking and how you're wrestling. It's more about the injuries.
Yeah.
And, like Styles. He's a guy that never got injured. And now he had an injury. It gets harder in your 40s. Your body starts breaking down.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, I'm about to reinvent myself.
Oh, boy. Here it comes.
Okay?
I'm excited.
Everybody.
I'm excited for it.
I got my TRT coming. I got my peptides coming. I'm going to be a monster. It's happening.
You bought all this stuff from the Liver King, right?
Yeah, that's who I buy it from. Did I send you the photo?
Yeah.
I sent Jess a picture of the Liver King, and I was like, this is me in 6 weeks. She's like, no, thank you.
Get duped by Did you just get duped? The last guy to get duped by the Liver King into like what was it? In the all liver diet?
That's all he does, dude. He doesn't do any kind of enhancement.
Oh yeah, he looks like a real.
That's not an HGH belly. That's not HGH belly.
Oh, are you gonna do HGH?
The peptides release natural HGH. They hit your pituitary gland, and your body creates its own natural HGH.
So you are gonna look like a Frankenstein.
I am gonna look like a Frankenstein. I can't freaking wait.
I can't wait to see this transformation where you can't fit into your shirt. You're too wide to walk through doorways.
Yeah.
Just like real jacked.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get big and I'm going to see Dave and I'm going to put him in a headlock and I'm going to say, whose biceps are better now?
I don't know if you want to do that, man. Dave is he's like the nemesis from Resident Evil 3. Start morphing into like different shapes.
Oh my God, he's Sean Ross Sapp. He's John Alba now.
It's like Clayface.
Yeah, it's like Clayface. Yeah, from Batman. Yeah, it's like. By the way, I have dinner with John Alba on Thursday, I think.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
No, we're going next week.
Oh, you're going next week? Mm-hmm. Is this going to turn into like a face-off situation?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna swap faces. Can't wait. Can't wait. Dakota's injured. We spoke about that. Dave said, yeah, focus on younger talent. Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to do this. They need to constantly evolve. Dynamite did 846,000 viewers, which is the best since April 26th. They also had some competition, which is good. They're maintaining here at that number. They just need to grow now. Tony Khan's conference call notes. He would not confirm a brand split after the Collision debut. He wants people to be surprised. He said Sabu's appearance is most likely a one-off. I'm sure. You know, he really can't wrestle anymore, right?
How many years have we been talking about Sabu showing up?
Okay. Rich and I, for people that have not been following us, since AEW debuted, okay, we have made the joke that every time the lights go off, Tony like wants Sabu to come. He's been teasing Sabu this whole time. And we're like, oh, it's Sabu. Well, no, it's Jon Moxley. No, it's Sabu. No, it's Kenny Omega. Finally, it happened. I want the lights on and lights off. I know. That's how I wanted this announcement. But you know what? They really wanted to play that copy of the theme.
Yeah.
And whoever did that did a great job. Close enough, dude.
Maybe Ruckus.
Was it Ruckus? Close enough.
Yeah.
Good job.
A lot of fun. Again, like we were calling that during the pandemic where they were doing the shows in Jacksonville. Like, oh, it'll be great next week. Sabu shows up.
Sabu shows up. That's it. So Sabu showed up. You know, can he do something with Chris Jericho?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is he going to go for an Arabian facebuster? And botch it and like totally miss the mark?
Who else was... Because a lot of folks are screaming ECW on this, right? But Sabu and Jericho were in War together, Wrestling and Romance, right?
Yeah.
Who else was in that promotion that they could use? It's very obscure.
That I don't know. Who else was there? I don't know who was there.
Was Lance involved with War?
No, I don't think so. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Alum. I'm saying talent that they would. Bam Bam was there. Abdullah was there. Rey Mysterio Jr. was there. Terry Gordy, the Wardlord, Scott Punsky.
The Wardlord?
The Wardlord. Oh, yeah. Wardlow should become the Wardlord. Trying to find anybody available. Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
Gato, Jade. Yeah, not
Dr. Luther. I would like to see a Jericho Sabu Luther thing.
Oh yeah, I want to see. You know what? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think Sabu could really wrestle anymore, but he's in Vegas. He's a Vegas guy, so it kind of made sense. But you know who else is a Vegas guy? Our friend.
Oh my God.
I want to see him. I want to see Rob Van Dam show up.
100%. That'd be ridiculous.
That
just for like one night. Because, we talked about this too. We're like, to go back to the ECW thing, when is AEW going to pull the trigger on their version of ECW? Because every company has done it, right?
Well, I don't want them to do it, though.
Impact has done it. WWE's done it ad nauseum. Impact has done it a million times with different names, and you still have dudes floating around: Dreamer, Rhino, Bully Ray, RVD, Sabu. You can throw these guys on one episode of Dynamite
20-something years ago. Unbelievable, right? And we're still talking about ECW. Mm-hmm. It's wild. I mean, they did have a place in history, and they did change the industry. I do think what could happen is, Sabu gets, the living crap kicked out of him, lights go off, and here's RVD with Fonzie.
Oh my God!
They do something. They could do something. I mean, whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I think it came out of nowhere, the Sabu announcement, but I think it's a nice little addition.
Absolutely,
I'll accept it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. When asked about future announcements about Collision Show, he said he's being intentionally secretive. He confirmed our report that Elevation and Dark were canceled due to the New Deal. The Great New Deal.
Interesting.
FDR, the New Deal. All right, Night of Champions. You ready to do this?
Day of Champions. Yeah, I'm ready.
Day of Champions. Hallelujah.
Today, I am remiss to say that I wish I was watching the event with you today.
I know.
But WWE's in Saudi Arabia. Sami Zayn is in Saudi Arabia.
Sami's in Saudi, yeah.
He's having a great time. That's pretty cool for him.
He went to Mecca.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the press conference?
Yeah, man. He's going to get the pop of the night.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. How do you not?
That's a good main event right there, right? And this is how Sami gets the pin on Roman. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go through the card.
Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defends against Mustafa Ali. That's going to be a good match.
Gunther, very dominant Intercontinental Champion. Record-making IC champ for him. By the way, WWE's done a very good job at, pushing this. And I've said this for a while now. Rich and I have been talking about this, how WWE wants to redo the history books.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't think having, I'm throwing a name, dude, and no knock, like Honky Tonk Man, right? He held a record. Mr. Perfect, he held a record as IC champ. Those names don't resonate with the fans today. You need to modernize this. And that's what they're doing. They put out, BT Sports put out that nice image, and WWE also did, where Roman stands in the rankings. He's 27 days away from breaking Pedro Morales' 1,027-day record. He's another 250 days from breaking Bruno's record, I believe.
Wow.
Right? Is it Bruno? No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Pedro Morales.
Pedro's 27, and who's after that?
Hogan?
Hogan's third.
Bob Backlund?
Backlund is, I believe, second.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Well, Bruno has two records, right? Bruno is 2803. Bob Backlund is 2135. Hogan is 1474. Same year he came to this country, by the way. Did you know that? Same year Hulk Hogan came to this country. 1474.
You know what? He beat Columbus by 20 years. I feel like people don't talk about that.
Yeah. But Bruno came in 1237. When I came with my family, it was very hard.
We swam over.
We had to find trees. There were no trees in America.
Well, Bruno swam over with his family on his back. Hogan walked on the ocean floor.
Yeah,
Godzilla.
He is a Godzilla. But this is interesting, right? Okay, so now you got Roman, 1,000 days. He'll now go into fifth place by passing Pedro. At that point, do you pass Bruno? At 1237, can you hold it for another 237 days?
Well, where does that leave date-wise? Like, what's the closest event to that?
MG, what did you say? When would that happen?
When he would pass, he'd pass Hogan next September, so September of 2024.
Yeah, but Bruno would be half of that, so he would pass Bruno.
So SummerSlam next year. Roughly, without doing the math.
You are not. I guess that would be the big pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with this title. I still find it bizarre that he has two. He's walking around with two. We
were talking about it off air a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Happening.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but this is exactly what they said they wanted to do, and they're doing it. I don't believe he's going to pass Hogan. If he does that, I'm shocked. Even though people said I reported that, I didn't report it, but I would be shocked. Then I'll take credit. Once it happens, I'm like, see, I told you guys.
It was me.
It was me. They heard my thoughts. Some of these guys on the internet, did you know that? On Twitter? They could get in my brain and see my thoughts.
Well, that's because we live in a simulation, Andrew. I don't know if I ever told you my theory about that.
Yes, tell me. The Mole Men and Hulk Hogan swam at the bottom of this.
When Hulk Hogan walked on the bottom of the ocean floor. Through the Marianas Trench. What do we got here? Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Honestly, kind of excited.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I thought this would have been a great SummerSlam match, but they're doing it now. So Trish is getting that big Saudi payoff. Nice.
Oh, yeah. You got the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament Finals, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. That's going to be a good one. I've been very lukewarm on Seth Rollins lately, but I think this is going to be a great match.
I don't love his over-the-top character, but a lot of people love it, and it's really connecting with kids.
He looks like he belongs in the Muppet Band.
Yeah,
with Dr. Teeth.
Yeah, he does. I'm going to tell you, man, my whole perspective of wrestling has shifted. I have changed my perspective of wrestling because I have 2 young kids, 6 and 7 years old, that are very into wrestling now. Taylor is really, it's actually fascinating, Rich, like how into Taylor is into wrestling.
Wow.
And their perspective matters because that's what you build your fandom on. That's how we all started. And what they like is interesting. Like, you know who she loves? Dominic Mysterio. Both my kids effing love Dominic.
Wow.
They like him because they want to see him get booed. They keep asking me to put on the videos where like he's getting booed. Okay. Bray Wyatt, they ask about constantly. They love Bray Wyatt. They love Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins.
All very unique looking cartoon people.
Yeah, all very unique cartoon people. Not into Brock Lesnar.
He's not a cartoon.
He's not that into Cody.
Like a murderer.
Not that into Cody.
Those guys are too real.
Too real. Yeah, they like the cartoons. And listen, that was all Vince's thing. So, listen, wrestling shifts, styles change, presentation changes, but you also have to look at what the younger generations are into and adapt.
Yeah.
You know, with Danielson, like, I want to see Danielson wrestle Omega in a 60-minute every single freaking week.
Oh, yeah, every day.
That's not realistic. That's not how you grow your TV. Like, I'm fine with it. You could have both. I think a balance is needed. You need to accommodate for everything. And I think that's a little bit of the problem that WWE has, where they're trying to build, you wonder, why is this match on this pay-per-view, right? I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Why are these 2 individuals in a match on this pay-per-view? You don't have to have them on a pay-per-view, but you know what you do have to do? Maybe they got new toys coming out. Maybe they're in a new program coming out. Maybe there's new merch coming out for them. You want to present these people on TV because that's how you sell things. It's more than just wrestling. I mean, that's always been Vince's thing. Do I agree with what they do always? No, not at all. I still have difficulty watching Raw. It's much better, but it's still hard to watch some weeks.
When did they make that transition to 3 hours?
Years ago. And it was a big deal when they went. I mean, a lot of the fans were convinced, like, this is great.
Yeah.
They loved it.
That quickly fell apart.
And then it fell apart. Yeah, because it's too long. It's hard.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing where it's like WWE does the best for WWE, so like all this stuff, like you said, even if we don't agree with it, they're going to sell toys and merch. And they got, like, if you go on the WWE shop, you'll see some wacky stuff that the superstars have said, like, oh, I didn't even know they sold, like, Finn Balor koozies, or shit like that, or like coolers, or like bucket hats, or anything you could think of that you could slap a logo on is on that website, and people buy all this shit, like we've seen, how many shows have we been to where you'll see people decked out legit head to toe in one guy's merch, like Finn Balor socks, sneakers, like the hats, do-rags, like the whole nine.
I agree with you. And AEW caters to a very different audience. Is it a sustainable audience? They're looking at it from the other side. Obviously, they want a younger viewership, but the other side is, look, Adult Swim, for example, right? This week, they announced that, what time does Adult Swim start? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Remember, it was like a late night thing.
Yeah.
They're moving it to 6 p.m. because younger people do not watch cable television. It's not a thing.
Because the adults that they were originally geared to are now mature adults. And they want to go to bed early.
Yeah, there's a reason. Like, and people are like, what does that have to do with wrestling? It has everything to do with wrestling. Because people viewing habits have shifted totally.
Yep.
And everybody's now trying to figure out what's the angle. I don't know. Right now, it's a very different type of programming. Baseball wants to be a shorter game. They're doing 2.5 hours now, under 2.5 hours.
How do you feel about the pitch clock?
I was not loving it, but I do like that it has sped up the game.
Yes, I agree with that. I had a conversation about that with a couple of buddies where on one end, one of the guys I was talking to was like, no, if I'm paying for baseball tickets, I want to be there for like 4 hours. I want to get my money's worth. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I want a 2-hour game. Like, I want to go in.
But you and I watch baseball very differently.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll admit it. I'll admit to this.
Yeah, admit it, Rich.
Most stuff, I don't know if it's anxiety or if it's just how I'm wired, where I need quickness and efficiency, and it's almost like I can't wait to leave. I'm
going to tell you what. I'm going to give you guys a little secret, okay?
Yeah.
When I go to watch baseball, I take an edible. The first thing I do, I pop a little edible. I have a couple beers. I have my burger. And then at one point,
meltdown.
My train will turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So I need to get on that train before it turns into a pumpkin. And I leave like 6th inning. I'm done. I'm good.
I'm with you on that.
I'm good. I got there. I watched it. I sat in the seats. I had a great time. Now it's time to go home. And then I come home and I don't remember anything from my night.
Did I go to the baseball game today?
Was I there?
Did I invite Rich on We're Live, pal?
Is Rich here? Did I invite Rich to this baseball game?
Yeah, but anyway, back to the card.
Sorry.
I think Seth is going to take it. I feel like that belt was built for Seth to be like a flagship.
It would be interesting if he doesn't, right? If they give it to AJ, I'd love to see AJ with that title.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with either or. I feel like it's gonna be Seth for story reasons, but I think if AJ got it, that would be great too.
Yeah. Brock versus Cody. I'm actually really looking forward to that. What a good setup too. Like I think when Brock is in it, he's in it.
When he's in it, he's in it. So let's. I'm curious. Who do you think takes this? You think they're gonna Brock's gonna beat Cody, and then they go for the third at the Slam of Summers?
I think they're gonna go for Cody. I think Cody's gonna get it. And also, I'm very interested. The Saudi crowd is very interesting. It's a very unique crowd, and I'm very interested in who gets the bigger pop because Brock Lesnar has always gotten like a ridiculous ovation in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if Cody's going to get the same thing. Is this Cody's first time on a Saudi show?
Is this Cody's first time on a Saudi show? Yes. Did he ever? Yeah, I think so, right?
Was he on the last one? I can't remember.
No. I don't think so. Maybe
he may have still been injured, right?
Somebody knows. Who knows? Who wrestles?
Yeah, he may have been injured. So one thing I will tell you, that Saudi crowd seems to be a little more up to date on modern WWE because my God, that press conference, Cody's theme song, they all knew it and they were singing the entire thing.
That's great.
That crowd, I think they watched the Battleground pay-per-view and said, Puerto Rico, here, we'll hold our beer. We got.
They don't drink beer. They don't drink beer. It's a dry country.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a dry country.
Yeah,
hold our Coca-Cola. Are you telling me that Gonzo is not up on geopolitical situations happening right now?
No comment.
Okay. So yeah, this looks like a cool match. I'm into this. Brock and Cody, SmackDown Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley defends against Natty against Natalya. I love her. You love Natty, right?
I do.
We're both big fans of hers.
Big Natty fans.
Yeah, me too. Big time.
Yep.
A lot of cats. Very into cats. I'm cool with that. That's fine.
Totally cool with that.
And you know what kind of cats?
What kind of cats?
Persian.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They love Persian cats. Bubba John.
Cats.
Meow. That's how Persian cats meow, by the way. Meow.
That's pretty good. I like that. I'm going to steal that later.
Yeah. Meow.
What else we got? Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defends against Asuka. Is this Asuka's time to take it? I think I felt like they should have put the belt on her last time.
I think Bianca takes it. Yeah. I think Bianca wins. Yeah.
And your main event. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. On one hand, if Sami gets the pin, I think that place would erupt. Right?
Yeah. There's 3 avenues, right?
Yeah.
Pin straight in the middle of that ring. 1, 2, 3 on Roman.
Right.
Okay. 2, the Usos come out to help Roman and Solo, and they F everything up.
Right. Just a bunch of bozos.
Bunch of bozos.
I think that's when it's happening.
3, Roman and Solo win.
Yeah.
With the help of the Usos. Then the story is we did this on our own. And the Usos are like, what the hell do you mean? We got you this title. And then that's the match at SummerSlam.
And then Sami finally gets the pin.
Or whatever.
Sami gets the pin. Sami has to get the pin on Roman at some point. Is it going to be in Saudi Arabia? Is it going to be at SummerSlam? That I feel like that's the
we
story
have Money
right
in the Bank
next.
next.
We have Money in the Bank next. But here's the other thing, right? Oh, you forgot the Raw Women's Champion. No, we spoke about that.
We
the
just
Raw
did,
Women's title. Yeah. Oh, no, maybe he's behind. I was like, wait a minute, we forgot it? There's different avenues here, but the real story is, okay, so, and this is, I'm asking this to everybody, right? What happens when Kevin and Sami are no longer in a program with Roman? Right? Do we still react the same to Sami?
I think so. I think he gets even more of a reaction. I think Sami is in like that perfect Mick Foley position of like right at the cusp of like superstardom, right? Because it was that pin that Austin helped him with that really made him a household name, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
the botched WCW thing where like, oh, if you want to tune into Raw right now, Mankind's winning the championship, right? I think that put him on the map to like the stratosphere. They have Sami in that corner they could do the same thing with Sami in a certain regard, right?
Yeah.
But when do you pull that trigger? You know, Roman losing in Saudi Arabia does not hurt Roman.
Hey, listen, you got a second world title now. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can move him. You don't have to beat Roman ever. You have a second title.
Yeah.
So if that's what they want to do, you can put that title on him. Is it a secondary title belt? Yeah, 100% it is. There's no question about it. You don't want to beat that guy. So now you have another belt.
Who do you think takes it?
The tag title?
Yeah, who wins that match?
I think it's going to be Sami and Kevin. Because you want that big celebration at the end. But I do think that the bigger story is that if Roman got it. Okay. I do like that. I mean, that's my personal pick. So, very interesting. I'm not going to go into NXT because I don't have time for this.
I think
I have to tell you, guys, like, the matches are fine. Carmelo Hayes is fantastic. This guy is really, Braun Breaker, another fantastic guy. Dragon Lee Noam Dar, another great match. I don't have it in me.
Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak. That's
my God, too. And that's going to be great too. These are good matches. I have not been committed to it.
But guess what? They're going head to head with AEW, and I feel like that's just like a weird boner move, right?
Yeah, big time. Weird. Why are you doing it? And you know what's going to happen is your people are going to have to pick.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is going to rely around the buzz on social media. Most of that buzz is going to be about Double or Nothing and not about NXT.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
Do you want to go into the Double or Nothing card and then we'll do questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
So you get your buy-in match tomorrow night, Double or Nothing, 5/28/23. Your buy-in match is the Hardys and Hook versus Ethan Page and the Guns. I think it's going to be a fun match.
I like the Guns. Oh, it was the Guns Ethan Page tagged up with. That is what happened. I like the Guns. Okay, this will be a fun match. A nice opener with the Hardys in it.
Yeah, and
taking
Hook,
it slow on Jeff.
Yeah. Hook is over. I'd like to see Hook do a swanton. I want to see Hook do all the Hardy moves.
That?
Oh yeah, come out like
a Hardy
fingers.
Oh no, he should come out like Lita. The thong showing. Can you imagine that? That'll be fun. You know what I do want to see? Nobody talks about it. Like, I'd love to see the Hardys and FTR.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's like a cool, weird matchup.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I think Hardy's versus anybody when they're healthy is a great matchup. I want to see Hardy's versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Whoa.
Very cool. Jade Cargill puts the TBS title on the line against Taya Valkyrie. This has been going on for a while. You know, Jade is unbeatable at this point. That's a story that they have told. Is this time to beat her? Do you beat her now? When do you beat her, and who beats her?
It's a round number, 60-0 right now. So
60-0. Maybe it's Goldberg.
Oh my God.
She just spears Goldberg. Nothing happens. He just stands there and starts bleeding from his forehead. Nothing even touched him. Orange Cassidy defends the AEW International title in a 21-man blackjack battle royale.
That's going to be fun.
That'll be fun. Does Orange keep it? He should. Ladder match for the TNT title as Wardlow defends against Christian Cage in a ladder match.
Wardlord.
Christian should win this.
I think so. I also don't want to see Christian on a ladder ever again, to be honest. Like, I know that's what he's famous for, but, like, listen, that guy's got to protect his dome, right?
What a hateable face. Vince was right.
Are you of the mindset that you don't like Christian's face?
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind it when he doesn't have a turtleneck on. With the turtleneck, cannot look at that man. Cannot.
He does a great job of making himself look like an a-hole.
Yeah, he's great. Fantastic. You know what's interesting though? Put that TNT title on him and move him to Collision.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? That would be interesting.
Yeah. And honestly, like, he's such a great heel promo that I feel like he's teaching the guys in the back, like, every time he has a microphone in his hand.
Yeah. Very good. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's title. Now, Jamie's hurt, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah, she's hurt. So the story is, and they did an angle on Rampage yesterday.
Yeah, they took her out again. They beat her up. So is this the match that we get?
I think we're going to get it, but I think Tony's going to take the title back.
I think Tony being AEW Women's Champion is a great person to have.
So Jamie can heal up.
Yeah. I like Tony a lot. You know, they get a lot of crap for the women's division in AEW, but I do think that they've made some really good moves the last, I want to say, 8 months.
100%. And I think, you know, with Tony having the title, it furthers that Outcast story as opposed to like Jamie retaining it, you know?
Yeah.
Even though I do want to see Jamie Hayter hold that title forever.
Yeah, I like Jamie. She came out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
She got over naturally. AEW tag team titles. FTR defends the titles against Jay Lethal and Double J Jeff Jarrett with Mark Briscoe as a special guest referee.
Might be match of the night. Would you lose your mind if Jeff and Jay Lethal won?
Oh, that would be the best thing in the world. Jeff Jarrett should have every title in that company.
There'd be so much heat.
And you know what? We did get a Dixie Carter comment. Maybe Dixie will show up.
Oh man, these worlds colliding.
Mm-hmm. I think that whole front row should be all the TNA people,
like classic TNA people from
no. Test and Albert intro.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That TNA.
We got the AEW Trios champions House of Black defend their titles in an open challenge. It looks like it might be the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
Yeah, it is Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. I'm whatever.
I think if I put him on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, I want to see Billy Gunn with some kind of tag title belt again.
Billy holding a belt in that company? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeff should hold it. Billy should hold it. Christian should hold it. All the older guys. That and you know what? That becomes a program. And Sabu wins the world title.
That becomes Impact. This is turning into Impact. Yeah.
Oh man, don't say that. Don't say that too loud. It'll happen.
Adam Cole versus Jericho in an unsanctioned match with Sabu as the special enforcer. So you know Sabu's going to do like 2 or 3 things.
He's going to point at the ceiling over and over again.
Yep.
He's going to do something.
Top rope leg drop through a table.
He's throwing a chair at somebody.
There's
definitely going to be a chair.
Where's Fonzie? I do want RVD to show up, though. He's in Vegas, guys. Come on.
RVD under the ring the entire time.
Someone in the chat mentioned that I think he's under a legend contract still with WWE, so I don't think he can.
Is he?
Legally?
Do you know how thick that man is?
A thick guy.
He's a thick guy. I don't think people realize, like, they underestimate his size. This guy is, his bones are adamantium. He's like a Wolverine type thickness to him.
He's like two Andrews put together.
You know what? I want to see that. I want to see Rob Van Dam playing Wolverine.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
I'm into that. Very into that. The Elite. Let's go into this one. The Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page battle against the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta in an Anarchy in the Arena match. Mike Sempervive on Wrestling Observer Live had a great idea. He said the entire time they should play what song? What song do you think he said they should play the entire match?
I know what I would choose.
Natural Born Killers.
Really?
Why not? Do it.
Okay.
I would love that. A little tribute to the most insane human being ever to exist in wrestling. I would love that.
I think they might play Kansas the whole time.
Oh my God, that's actually even funnier if they play Kansas and they're acting. They come out like New Jack.
Oh my God,
such a bunch of New Jacks running around. And then now we got the world title match: MJF versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin in a 4 pillars match for the AEW world title. This, I have not loved this. They could do something great. What do you think, Rich?
I agree with you. Like I'm not on the fence about this match. I think the match is going to be awesome. I think there's going to be some wacky shenanigans, but this is one of those storylines where I'm like, I'm not vested. I have no, like, it's not that I don't care about it, but me personally, I think you're in the same boat. I'm all right with it. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And you know what they're doing. They're setting this up for, like, definitely setting this up for more future main events, right? Because these guys are the young guys. They're going to be around for a long time. They're probably going to be there longer than a lot of the legends that they have under contract. And I think this might be a little like a taste of the future, especially for those future highlight reels or video packages that they put together. 5 years from now, this match will be referenced like a lot,
Yeah, and I hope that it's a successful match and it builds to their story and it builds to whatever they're going to do in the years coming. I think it's just too much going on.
Yeah.
I don't think it was presented in the right way.
It's a lot going on.
Can I mention?
Yeah.
Can I mention something real quick? Something that I thought interesting about this weekend. So last year at this time, remember, Andrew was in Vegas and the three of us were going back and forth. Andrew was getting up to the minute reports. There was no drama this year so far at Double or Nothing.
I mean, but the CM Punk stuff was too much already. Yeah. that stuff is really
There's nothing over. Will he or won't he show up stuff happening? Because remember, that was a big deal last year. Like, Rich and I did a show, and that's all we talked about was is MJF going to show up at the pay-per-view? And now it's seemingly he's in this feud, and it just seems flat.
So it was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And that's it for the card. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing Wrestling Observer Live. It'll be live at 6 o'clock. Be joined by Nick Houseman to discuss the card. So that is what I'm doing tomorrow.
He's in the House of Black, right?
What?
He's in the House of Black, right?
He's in the House of Black. Yeah, Nick Houseman in the House of Black.
Is it time for questions?
It's time for questions. Submit your questions in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. Use the hashtag AskMattman.
It just makes it easier for me to find them.
Yes.
MG, can you post the questions?
Oh, you want me to post them?
Yeah. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So I'm a little lost here. I'll do one, but just get my back on them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Number one. This is from Trey.
Okay, Atkins. I got to turn something on. Let me turn it on real quick.
Yeah, turn it on. turn the machine on.
He has like a big wheel, and he has to like do one of these to get it going.
It's like Lost. He's in the pit spinning like that wheel of pain.
He's burrowing to China.
You gotta do some, okay, there you go.
There we go. It's up. All right. When do you think Bray Wyatt comes back around Money in the Bank or just before SummerSlam?
I don't know. There was a weird QR code on the back during Raw in a backstage moment, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I have no idea about Bray's status. Originally, I was told that he was only out because he wasn't feeling well. That obviously is not the truth here. There's something going on. Whether it's creative or personal issues, I have no idea. Nobody's talking about Bray. But listen, there's obviously a problem here.
Yeah.
And that last run with Uncle Howdy was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Just really weird. Went on too long. And that was it.
And the LA Knight stuff also, it kind of fizzled, right?
Yeah, thank God he survived it, LA Knight.
Absolutely. I think he tweaked his character just enough to not be forgotten, because that's, think about it. Like if you're fighting for TV time and then the guy that you're in a program with kind of like just disappears, you're left in the lurch.
Yeah.
Here's a comment from Devin Baker. OMG, I've been watching, listening forever, but I'm here live for the first time.
Oh, Devin Baker. Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. Let's see what we got here. This is from Sue. Will Tony Khan be asked about the lower attendance and lower ratings in the Double or Nothing press conference?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody has thought about asking it. I think everybody knows the answer. I don't know what is he going to say to that?
Yeah, like I don't know. Imagine if he just straight up is like, I don't know,
man. It's been shit. I don't know. Listen, the show is not bad. It's just, in order to maintain viewership, you got to constantly evolve. You need interesting programs, and I think they've had a number of issues here. CM Punk that has dwelled over everybody. I think they've been trying to do too much, but there's a reason. There's a reason for everything that they're doing. So I hope that this is the beginning of the changeover for them. But who knows? Maybe it doesn't really change anything over, and this is all they could do. They sit at in the 800s.
I feel like weren't we supposed to get like a Switchblade match on the card, or no? Am I wrong about that?
It is. Oh, so sorry. My God, my coffee just expired in me.
Did I just put you to sleep?
Yeah. No, Switchblade is not on the card.
Interesting. I feel like he should have been on the card. That's just me. All right. This is from Devin Baker. When is the Rhea and Dom wedding? If it were up to me, we'd have weddings every week. Who would you most like to see get married? #AskBatman.
Oh, Brock Lesnar and Omos.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's who I want to see get married.
Let's just do. I don't know. I can't do a good Brock Lesnar impression.
Let's just do it. I think they're going to end up doing the wedding. You could do it at SummerSlam. How about that?
That'd be great.
Yep.
But then Damian Priest ends up marrying Finn Balor accidentally.
Damian Priest ends up marrying Finn Balor by mistake. And you know what? Nobody believes them it was done by mistake. That's the sitcom.
No, there you go.
And they got to live together somehow. Something wacky happens, and they got to live together. But they're married, but not really. Love it.
Then they start acting like an old married couple.
Yeah, great and fantastic. I'm so into this '80s sitcom.
This is from Hogan. How would you feel about
Hulk?
Roman somehow? I think so.
Terry?
It's Terry. How would you feel about Roman somehow scheming his way into that third belt at Night of Champions? It would certainly be a way to cap off day 1000. Oh my God, imagine.
I have no problem with it, dude. Right now, I'm
totally okay with that.
I'm totally okay with that right now because it has not happened and I don't see it happening. But if it does happen, maybe I'll change my opinion and be like, oh, he's taking all the title. I think it should happen. I think I'm into chaos, and that adds chaos.
Absolutely. Throw one belt on each shoulder and then the third one around his neck.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
This is making a pseudo armor with these belts. This is from Kuro Metariku. Have you ever done improv with Nick Houseman?
Have you ever done improv with Nick Houseman? Have you?
Who, me? No.
Have you ever done improv with Nick Houseman?
I didn't even know he was an improv guy.
That's how he knows Colt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you've never done improv? You never ended.
I've never done improv with Nick Houseman. I'm not against it.
Have you ever done improv?
I've never done improv.
I think this whole show is improv.
This whole dude, Andrew Sanger's not even my name.
I think this whole fucking show is improv, right, Andrew?
Jay White and Ricky Starks are in the Blackjack Battle Royale.
Oh, cool. Yeah, put that belt on Switchblade.
Yeah.
This is from Balor Club. What's up, boys? With Cody going into his match with a broken arm, I think this will be a Cody torn pec situation where Cody does the unthinkable. Who's your pick, Brock or Cody?
Or Brock kills him, and he can't compete.
Just like murders him, and then like you get like a banged up Cody.
Mm-hmm. That could happen.
All right. Let's see. This is from MCASP. Will MJF remain AEW champion the rest of 2023? If not, who beats him?
Great question. I don't know. There is something that I do know that indicates that he won't hold it the entire year. But that's only I have no. I'm going to rephrase that. I don't want to get misquoted. I do know something that makes me think it is possible for him to lose it this year. I don't know if that's happening. I don't know if it'll affect it in any way, but I think you have to do whatever is good for the story. So if it's good for the story that this guy holds it for the rest of the year, that's fine. But who are his opponents? So right now he's doing this 4 Pillars match. The conversation is that it possibly could be Adam Cole and him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cole should beat him for the title. But then who?
Do you go back to the old guard and have it be like one of your tried and true studs? Or do you end up finishing the Punk feud when Punk eventually comes back?
You end up finishing the Punk feud when he comes back. Does he beat him for the title? Because remember, CM Punk never lost the title.
Right.
CM Punk he never lost it. So, he can say he's here to take his title back. Whether or not they do that, I don't know. I don't know if they should. Do you reward him? Do you put the title on him? I don't know.
Well, remember this. If you put the title on Punk, he's going to have to be on both shows. And kind of, isn't that what they're trying to avoid right now?
Well, you could swap people. I mean, listen, first of all, this whole thing is so silly.
Ridiculous. Yes.
That you're refusing to be in the building with the person. It's business. I get it. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of egos. There's a lot of personalities. I deal with lunatics all day long. You got to work together. Figure it out. Yeah. You're adults. If you cannot physically, if you believe that you cannot be around this person because you will physically hurt them or you will have a confrontation with them, then you should. Then it's a problem.
Exactly.
You're here for the greater good, and that's AEW. You're not here for yourself. And that's the problem. Maybe you are, and that's the problem. Company first. I'm such a corporate stooge, huh?
This is from Joel Arias. $1.99 super chat. Thanks, Joel. Who should win the world title, AJ or Seth?
I would love to see AJ with it, but I think it's going to be Seth.
Same here. I would also like to see AJ win it, bring it to the OC, and then resume their feud with Judgment Day as if like stuff is on the line or whatever. I don't know.
Do something fun.
So if he wins it, does the whole OC go back to Raw? Because he's on SmackDown now.
Oh yeah, he is on SmackDown.
Oh, that's part of the conundrum with having everybody fight for this title. It just made it confusing.
No, I get it. It's obviously it's Seth, but I would love AJ to take it.
Yeah, same here. Let's see what do we got here. This is another one from Trey. Thoughts on when we see Drew back in WWE? They drafted him, but he hasn't shown up for a week since WrestleMania.
I think soon. I believe it's soon.
Yeah, why not? Right after the Saudi show, put a fresh coat of paint on him.
He should get rid of that sword. I'm not a fan of the sword.
Yeah, same here. It's ran its course.
Yeah. My son loves it though. Hunter loves it.
Oh, of course, he's a giant guy with a big sword.
Yeah, Hunter. I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, oh, I like Drew McIntyre. I'm like, why? He goes, oh, I like his sword and I like his motorcycle. So he has a Drew McIntyre toy and he came on a bike.
Sweet.
And I'm like, I wonder why, but he has like this gnarly motorcycle and sword.
Why not?
Why not?
This is from John. If or when Punk gets announced for Collision, how many more tickets do you expect them to sell? This is right up your alley, Andrew. Do you expect 2 to 3K sales or go to 6 to 9K sales?
I would say 2 to 3K.
Okay.
Remember, the first time he came back, we hadn't seen him in 7 years, and there wasn't negative emotion associated to him at that moment. Now it's, he should come back as a freaking heel. You want to totally turn everything and play into it? He comes back as a heel, and he's like, "F you people! You turned your back on me when you don't even know the facts." Here comes Samoa Joe.
That makes I'll tell you the facts. Actually,
I'll tell you the effing facts. You're a piece of crap. I've known you for all these years. I've kicked your ass all these blah 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 blah. Now you got a program there, and he could do like a heel stable.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
him, Hobbs, you could do something interesting with Punk. I do think Punk should have a stable.
Yes.
I think he needs associates. Remember, he's always been alone.
Yeah. I think he definitely needs like a couple of FTR, like FTR are the perfect guys to be in.
FTR is a great group. Yeah, you could have FTR and another person, and now you have this interesting group. As I was saying, I'm not a fan of there's too many groups and trios, but I think in this case it kind of works.
Well, who would be a good fourth for them?
That's a great question. I would say Hobbs.
FTR, a young guy. Hobbs.
Put a young guy. He's a monster. He's a big giant beefcake.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? That's a good rub.
That's a pretty good rub. But again, like, are we gonna get cheated out of seeing
Mesquite's a good rub. Great rub.
Are we going to get cheated out of seeing Punk and FTR versus the Elite? Probably, right?
I don't know if that match is even possible to happen, but
right.
If you are given an opportunity like this, right? It doesn't happen too often in wrestling. You don't get these opportunities, right? Missed opportunity. We talk about this all the time. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity with Hogan and Austin. Missed opportunity with Austin and Goldberg. Missed opportunity with I have to see. I'm sorry.
Macho Man and Shawn Michaels.
Macho and Shawn Michaels. Missed opportunity to do Shawn and Brett again.
Yeah.
Obviously for all the circumstances, there are these moments in wrestling that you don't get a chance to do it again. It is in this bizarre universe, they have created the hottest story in wrestling outside of the Bloodline, and that is the CM Punk Elite situation. You sold out that stadium, right? That stadium is 65,000, 60,000, 65, 70,000. Obviously, they'll finish above 70 when we're here. Maybe you don't do it now. But if there was ever an opportunity to go into a market and sell out a stadium with just one match, that is it.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be a trios. It is a huge opportunity to make money and to make history.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Punk knows it. FTR knows it. That's why FTR has been an advocate to making this work.
Yep.
And you know what? And people are yelling at them and they're blaming them. And they're like, why are you pushing this? What are you, dumb? Because it's one of the biggest money matches you could possibly do in this generation of wrestling.
Exactly.
It's a business. Business, as Dusty would say. I want to see it. I want to see Kenny, and I want to see Kenny and Punk. I want to see Punk and Danielson. I want to see that trios match between all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
So much money to be made, so much attention to be brought to your product.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it, you have failed. At the end of the day, it's not Punk, and and you know what? When that happens, listen, I follow that Steve Wynn mentality, right? Do you know that story about Steve Wynn? He went into his hotel and the glass was dirty, right? And listen, I'm not a saying I'm a fan of Steve Wynn, but I do like this process. Okay. So I don't know if he's done any kind of bad stuff. I don't know his personal story. So I'm not advocating for Steve Wynn. I'm just saying this is a great example, and I've learned a lot from this as dealing with lunatics. This guy goes into his hotel, and the glass is dirty, for the doors. So what does he do? There's this lady that cleans, and he goes to the manager, whoever's in charge. He's like, hey, listen, make sure that the glass is clean. It was a brand new hotel. It had just opened. Manager says, okay. Comes back again. There's fingerprints all over that glass. And he says again, he's like, hey, listen, I told you, make sure the glass is clean. I'll tell her again. I'm so sorry. I'll tell her again. Does it again. And at this point, you know what Steve does? He doesn't fire that woman. He fires the manager.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get your job done. You had to do something. You didn't think it's a priority. You didn't get it done. It's your fault. You're not a good leader. You should be able to decide, okay, do we keep her? Is she doing something wrong? It shouldn't be the boss that decides that. In Tony's case, the blame goes on management if you cannot make this work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. I'm not saying that Tony's a bad manager. Also, don't tweet him that.
Right.
I think Tony's doing great stuff. I'm just saying I would take if I was in that position, I would take this as a personal responsibility and that I have failed if I cannot deliver this. I'm not saying that he has to deliver it today or tomorrow. I'm saying overall, if he cannot deliver that match, then it's a failure.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Vince and not being able to do, Austin Goldberg different, right? Injuries happen, but politics also play. And that is all secondary. If you cannot make it work and you cannot make politics go away, then you have failed as a leader. And that is why I'm announcing today that I am running for mayor of the city of New York.
Listen, I'd vote for you. We got a real number.
I'd move there just to vote for you.
Yeah.
Someone like me would never run and could never become anything in politics because these people are all psychopaths.
We got a real character in the office. I think if Eric Adams got voted in, you can get voted in.
He's at Zero Bond all day partying. And he's in every nightclub.
And listen, you'd still be a better choice than de Blasio.
Hey, Mayor de Blasio, do something about my garbage. It's piling up.
Is this your hint that you want us to start calling you Mayor Zarian?
No.
Oh, my God. So I'm going to get back to the
I see Adams out when I'm out. I was at a venue, and he was there. It was a nice members-only venue a couple weeks ago.
Guy parties hard.
Parties
man.
all freaking night.
Joel has a follow-up question to the CM Punk stuff.
All right, what's the follow-up?
It is. There it is. What happens if CM Punk gets hurt?
Listen, it's just one of those things. You don't know. What happens if Roman breaks his arm tonight? You don't know. It's a gamble that you take every single day. It's a very dangerous job when they're not in a controlled environment like a movie set. This is
They'll pivot just like they had to do last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not one to think that you need to consider that as your... Obviously, you do always, and you have a backup plan, but they shouldn't think like, well, he could get hurt. I can't do this with him. Do as much as you can with him and get it done.
Let's see. This is a good one. This is from Brad Smith. You want to do a couple more and then we'll get out of
here? Yeah.
Does Danielson ever win the AEW title before he retires?
What do you think?
I think so. I think he should get that belt.
100% he should. 100% he should, because the importance of him coming in was a big part in their success story. Getting Punk, getting Adam Cole, and getting Danielson on the same freaking night really was a big deal.
Yeah. But again, you need a good story for that, right?
Yeah.
For him to get that title and make it believable.
I mean, they've told the story that he just can't cut the mustard.
Yeah, but I think
those big moments.
Does he win as a heel or does he win as a face? I think that's the thing, because face Danielson couldn't cut the mustard.
But is he a heel? Do people see him as one?
He's hitting dudes in the eyes with screwdrivers, man.
Yeah, but I think he's a violent dude. He's not, I can't. I don't look
at that faction at all as heels. I look at him as kind of neutral.
You know what I want to ask? You know what I do want to ask, and I would love to ask him this. Okay, maybe I'll ask Dave to ask him or something. Maybe I'll just reach out. Whenever he gets obsessed over the title, he kind of turns into Smeagol.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, In WWE, that last run when he was going for the title, remember, like, his shoulders got hunched a little bit. He looks a little bit more worn.
Yeah.
You know,
very
how
deranged.
he sees it, very deranged. And he did that a little bit in AEW, too, where it, like, consumes him to get it. I find that, if I have manifested that, I think I should be Booker of the Year in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, and because I think it's a great story for him. If not, if that is what they have done, I think it's great also. Does anybody else see that, or am I delusional?
No, you're not delusional. You know what I would love if that was the mandate going forward with the AEW title, is that it turns whoever it's on into like a Schmeagle, where like MJF starts like doing it, and then the next guy gets the curse, and then at some point somebody's got to destroy the belt and make a new belt.
That's a great story. Like, it consumes you. You start you don't sleep. Your eyes have bags under them. You just become insane over time. And then they find out, you know what the problem is? The belt is made out of lead. And that was the problem all along.
Like a radioactive belt. They're ever
just
done like
poisoned.
Have they ever done a cursed Lord of the Rings belt story on wrestling?
I love it.
They could do that with any. Listen, I think that would be a fantastic storyline idea where even the intercontinental, whatever the Orange Cassidy belt is, have him start turning into like some kind of goblin, and then people realize it's because of the belt.
Yeah, I'm into it, dude. What else do we have? So 2 more.
This is from Get Bonked On. Why are you so gorgeous?
Oh, thank you.
Oh. Let's see here. Have you heard recent re-signings going on in WWE, especially with cuts about to happen before the deal with Endeavor closes?
Have you heard of recent resignation? I have not. That's a great question, and I'll follow up. I have not heard it.
Sure. Let's see here. Are AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery negotiating the next TV deal currently, or will they just pick up the option for another year?
No, I think they're negotiating.
Joe. Yeah,
they're negotiating.
Let's see what we got here. We got time for one more good question, guys.
Okay.
Here's a good one, actually. If Asuka loses from Noob & Co. TV, if Asuka loses to Bianca at Night of Champions, what's next for her? I would like to see a storyline with Damage Control feud with EO as Madman.
If Asuka loses to Bianca at Night of Champions, what's next for her? I would like to see a storyline between Damage Control feuding with EO. I mean, EO feuding for the title. You could do Bayley for the title. There's a couple.
It feels like they're splitting up that and making EO a face. So I think that's very likely. What if Asuka wins tonight and then that's the next program?
Maybe that is the next program.
Maybe
be
fun.
Could do that. Yeah,
totally cool with that. Here's one from Pro Wrestling Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have time for the answer, but ask Zarian what he puts in his hair every morning before we go.
I have a special blend of like a spiking cream that I do this. I blow dry my hair forward and then I flip it, and then I have big sexy hairspray. That's what it's called, and I hit it with the hairspray.
Every day at 5 in the morning.
Every day, 5 in the morning. It takes me like 2.5 hours to get it going. I just take the wig off, dude. This is the reality. I take the piece off, I put it on the mannequin, and I put the Thursday one on Thursday, and I put the Friday one on Friday. That's it.
Yeah, the Saturday wig is one of my favorites.
The Saturday wig is high. The Monday, Tuesday one, terrible.
No, that's you're letting people know that you're starting the work week, so it's not as high as it should be at the end of the week. The Sunday one goes all over the place. Sometimes it's like a double mohawk, like that guy from Prodigy.
Yeah. Yes. What a weird song.
Oh, here's another one. I'm actually more curious about what you put in the beard.
Nothing. The beard has nothing. It's all natural. No Just for Men.
Shoe polish, brother.
Shoe polish. I do have a bunch of grays, though. My grays are coming in. Nothing on my head, but all in my beard.
Ooh, I got my first gray hair on my head the other day.
Yeah.
It's just standing straight up, hanging
That's
out.
it.
Letting the world know. Let's see. Let's do one more good wrestling question. Guys, one more, and then we're going to get out of here.
Okay. Let's do one more. I got to clean up the yard.
Are we sure he doesn't just use a black Sharpie?
Dude, this is fake too. It just comes off. It's glued on.
I do love.
I'm totally hairless. No eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing. It takes me hours to put this hair on.
One day you were like, I'm gonna do my best to try to look like Bobby Lashley. Are you gonna tattoo your eyebrows on?
This is tattooed. Those
are tattooed. Right? Yeah. Does it bother you when folks ask about your hair and your routines?
I'm so used to it that I just like, I'm like, all right, this is what I use. This is what I do. I get asked constantly. It's so regular for me to be. People ask me. There's a certain set of people that constantly ask me if my eyebrows are dyed.
Oh, wow.
I get that a lot.
Interesting.
With one specific group of people.
Okay.
One group of people constantly ask me that, and I don't know why. I mean, they're very dark.
Yeah.
But so is my beard. And my hair.
You get your eyebrows done?
I do them.
Really?
Yeah, I do them.
You do the threading? You do the threading yourself?
I do the... It doesn't really grow much more because I've plucked it so much. This is a bizarre conversation on that, man. So
I've always been fascinated by what's going on your head and face. So
yeah, everybody is, because it's so daunting. You know, you see, it's so loud.
I don't know if daunting is the word I'd use.
You're like, why is that man's eyebrows that way? Why is his beard like that? Is his hair real?
Here's a good one.
Yeah.
Who would you work for, AEW or WWE, if they wanted to hire you? Which one?
How do you know one of them doesn't want to hire me?
That's true. It's tough, man.
Would you ever work for WWE or AEW? I don't want to answer that.
Whatever Andrew picks, I'd have to go with the opposite company.
I will say this. I don't think either company would be able to afford me. So, and for the amount of work I want to put in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you want to work 1 day a week for 3 hours with a 2-hour break.
Well, I would tell you, AEW would have a I guess, easier schedule.
Yeah.
WWE, I would have to go to Connecticut.
Right.
So I don't want to do that.
It's not a bad drive. It's 35 minutes.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, okay? I have no problem. I don't see it as a negative. If AEW called, let's put it out, the WWE wanted me to go to work for them. If it financially makes sense, you know, I would have to be an idiot not to take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that would mean I can't do this. And for me, same thing goes for AEW. I wouldn't be able to do this. And for me, this is an escape from reality. I think we do a great show. I think we've made an impact on pro wrestling coverage. I think we have made our mark.
Are you ending the show right now?
With that said, my toaster's here. I'm gonna go in the tub. I don't want to stop this. I've had many opportunities to come that I would not be able to do this, and I've said no. I enjoy what I do. So if they made it worth my while, maybe, but probably not.
Plus, if Andrew had to leave, it would just be me and Mr. Gonzo doing the show, and nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I probably would not go. Listen, you want to hire me as a consultant? I have got no problem. I'm not a journalist. I'm a media personality.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And
like I think a lot of people get that confused.
And I don't care. Like, I don't have a gripe to pick with either company. Because you know why? I could state my opinions because I'm not bought and paid for. Nobody paid. Neither company pays us. And we also really limit our ads. We don't adhere to advertisers. We don't adhere to that. These are just free thoughts that we have.
Or, you know, you could tell them the truth and that you're in the pocket of both companies somehow, and they don't know about it.
Yeah,
double dipping.
That's the way to do it.
Double dipping, getting them Tony Khan paychecks and them Triple H paychecks.
Mm-hmm. Does that explain it?
That explains it. All right.
I get a little nervous when people ask me that.
Who would you work for, I would love to be hired for either company as a morale officer.
Where do you think I would thrive better?
Just go around and cheer people up.
In WWE?
You would
maybe a little bit more.
Rich would just leave whoopee cushions everywhere in the locker rooms.
I think you would do well. I think you would do amazing for both companies. And then after a week, I would get a phone call that says, "You got to get me out of here.
You got to get me out of here, dude." No, you know when you would get it? 7 weeks.
7 weeks?
I'm like, can you effing believe it? I got to go to work?
I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm on the next flight home. What am I doing in Saudi Arabia?
What am I doing in Saudi Arabia? Oh, man. Exciting stuff. All right. That's
your
it.
toast is ready.
Huh? Yeah, my toast is ready. I got to go clean up my yard.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it for today. Love each and every one of you. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy Night of Champions. Are you watching it, Rich?
Night of Champions.
You're going to watch it later?
No, I can't. I got to watch it at another time.
All right. You watch it tonight. I'm going to be watching. Yeah. I'll be tweeting. This was a lot of fun. We'll see you all next time.
All right.
On Meat Men.
Mwah.